Now I'm going to put a very dark truth out there for all of you to deal with. There was a time when I wanted to kind of end my life. Oh, but you're an actress, no one will marry you. There was someone who said this very big statement which took me down in such a bad space in my head.
This guy is an actor. Should
you.
he or she become a creator only to push his acting game up?
Creator is a very impactful word which we all prefer to use. I'm a creator, you're a creator, we all are creators. A lot of people you might give you the impression that they're having a very starry life, but they're probably in debt.
That happens in the industry a lot?
100% it does.
School games?
Yeah.
Back in school, class 3, class 4, what games you used to play?
Class 3, class 4?
4, 5, 6, the childhood games that you used to play?
Yes. Kho-kho. Kabaddi with my cousins. I think kabaddi time with my cousins have
Back
been...
in Calcutta?
Yes, in Salt Lake. I think a lot of people know Salt Lake is a settlement, very beautifully knit place. That's where a lot of my childhood was, because my cousins used to mostly live there. And all we would do is, like, when everybody is doing their respective, let's say कोई शादी हो रही है, कुछ तो हो रहा है, हम टेरेस पे बस कबड्डी खेल रहे हैं. And that game I remember, मतलब अभी तो हमें breath work मालूम है, ये पता है, वो पता है, but that was real breath work. Don't you agree?
Of course.
Don't you agree?
I mean, what else?
And you? What about you? Like?
Yeah, so kabaddi, I was not a very big fan of kabaddi, but I was a fan of Kho-Kho, of course.
Yeah, Kho-Kho.
Calcutta, I also come from Calcutta, so Pitthu, we used to play Pitthu a lot. So there's this game. What are you saying? You don't know Pitthu?
What is Pitthu?
So Pitthu is basically 7 stones, one on top of the other. There are 2 teams, और एक team उस पत्थर को ball से मारती है. If it hits that 7 stones.
अच्छा. और एक के points मिलते हैं?
नहीं. So okay, this is interesting. 7 पत्थर, one on top of the other.
Done.
One team has the ball, they throw. If they miss, the ball is with the other team by default, because like that's how they're standing. They get the ball, they throw, it hits.
And you get to bounce the ball, you get to directly hit it.
You can bounce the ball, you can hit the ball directly.
Okay.
It usually is directly, because bounce se fir automatically ऊपर चला जाएगा, so there's no fayda. So you hit the ball with the patthar hits. If the patthar falls, how much ever stone falls, the ball is obviously in some other random direction.
Right.
आपको अब वो पत्थर एक के बाद एक के ऊपर सजाना है. And till that happens, the other team has to get the ball and hit you. So if one person is...
It's like dodgeball mixed with...
How do you not know Pitthu?
I don't know, but I know dodgeball.
In Calcutta.
This is reminding me of dodgeball. Dodgeball खेलती थी मैं स्कूल में.
Dodgeball.
Basketball के साथ.
यही था क्या?
नहीं, dodgeball था ball के साथ. But the concept is same ना.
हाँ, तो वो अगर जो पत्थर एक के ऊपर एक रख रहा है, दूसरी टीम उस बॉल से उस बंदे को मारेगी.
वही तो बोल रही मैं.
और वो बंदा आउट हो जाएगा.
Correct.
And then the other person tries to, whoever is closer or further, they go and try and like put the structure back again.
Next time we'll do like an outdoor podcast where we are mic'd and we play Pitthu and we talk. I think I would love that.
I'm surprised, Tridha, you don't know Pitthu. You come from
सब कुछ थोड़ी पता हो सकता है.
से आके ये कैसे नहीं पता आपको? Okay. So
only
Pitthu is something that I used to...
people know this, I think.
How do you know I'm from Bosco?
I mean, if I'm meeting the host, I would need to know a little about you, right?
Damn nice. This is very cool.
Yeah.
Your switch from being a microbiology student to being an actor is incredible. And I've seen a couple of interviews where we've spoken about this. So we're not going to the journey of why and how you shifted. But I want to talk about the kind of films that are being, or the kind of shows that are being offered to you right now. What is the basis of your selection of films and shows, and how do you select shows? And what do you see in a script?
Usually I end up going with I call it like a top 3, hits. Okay. When I say top 3 hits, I mean, like, let's say there are 4 parameters to choosing a project, wherein it could be the director, it could be the producer, it could be the actor, and it could be the script. So 4 parameters are there, right? So out of these 4 properties or parameters, if 2 are good enough, and if it's weighing towards something like, let's say there's a big name associated with it, I don't think I would mind. Like sometimes it happens that a lot of people end up, offering a lot of money, thinking that, okay, so I can approach this actor. I'm a new production house, and I would be able to just secure this individual with a lot of money. We've all done that too. We've all also, who says no to a good amount of money? So you end up accepting that. But then what happens is those films don't end up releasing. Because a lot of times with a new production, they might have a lot of pool or money to actually accommodate that, the actor's fee or something. But what ends up becoming a problem is the movie doesn't see the light of the day because it just gets stuck because of whatever reasons. It could be permissions or, it's just stuck in a long queue of never releases.
Right.
So that is something I've completely opted out of. But the newer talents I'm happy to work with are new actors. Because after all, it's a talent pool. Nowadays, you can talk about a content creator. That individual is probably way more popular than just another A-lister, if you see, like that, if you compare. So nowadays, I think it's the casting process system acceptance by audience has changed. It's become like, if you are popular, let's take a vote about how many people out here in the room know you, or maybe they like what you do. It's not just about the numbers that people see. Don't want to digress from my selection versus what audience's selection is. But yeah, for me, that parameter is always there. I just don't fall for only the money offered or only that, because sometimes it's also happened that there's a huge house and they are pretty much not able to give you the exact fee that you might get. But on the plus side, what you end up getting is a lot of footfall for that because it reaches the audience.
Have you done something just for money?
Yeah, 100%.
Just like there's no other incentive but the money.
Absolutely. There were a couple of times which it's lucrative, right? Like something like, if it's coming to you and it's coming to you in a good way, like there's no hidden agenda or any kind of it's a clean project. Why wouldn't you accept it?
I want to talk about the money aspect of being an actor and a model, because in terms of a lot of people who are aspiring actors and models, they have a very skewed view of how this works, how the industry works.
Okay.
There is this perception of casting couch versus making this actor is an A-lister or a B-lister, this actor makes this much money. I want to become an actor just because it makes me so much money and I can buy a sea-facing apartment. Whereas that can be possible with this profession. The idea is what should they run behind? Should they run behind?
Or where should they draw the line, you mean? I'm not very well versed in having this definite answer, but very interesting question, because it took me a while to also have this answer for myself, because a lot of times I was just chasing something which I didn't even know what am I chasing. Do I want to be this perfect version of someone, my idol or something, or do I really want to actually create an impact? So you have to kind of jot down, is it money that you're after, or is it just you just want to shoot up? Because trust me, when people say they go hand in hand, they always don't. A lot of people might give you the impression that they're having a very starry life, but they're probably in debt. It's a very real aspect. Like now I'm not talking as an actor, I'm talking as an individual, and I want to make the youngsters aware of the fact that don't always believe the fancy that you see, because half of the time when people are trying to do the fancy and they're not living their most authentic selves, you really don't know what's going in their houses or their bank accounts. They're probably just flashing a lot of fluff and flash at you.
That happens in the industry a lot?
100% it does. But the smarter way to do is have a backup, or at least have a very sane understanding of investments. So let's say if you've been a year or two into the industry, be it modeling or be it whatever, and by this I say you could be anybody. You could be like a scriptwriter, you could be a director, you could be even a gaffer, or you could be a lightman. But my point is, you can't blow your money and your hard earnings on just a designer bag or just a sea-facing apartment. You have to make sure your investments are in place, Just to keep up with appearances is the worst way to go about with this. Yeah.
And I've seen this happen with a lot of people, that once they've made a certain amount of money for whatever work they're doing, their lifestyle shoots up. And things don't go as stably after that. but they have to keep up with the lifestyle.
Yeah, there is someone, I mean, I don't want to talk about the name, but is a very big individual in the, business. And recently, some individuals were talking about it, one of the managers, that person is in huge time debt, but if you actually know about his lifestyle, you wouldn't be able to tell. So it's because they're constantly going on credits, and they don't know how much they have, how much they're spending. They don't basically know what they have. So they're probably actually really spending way more than they should.
Why is this? Is this to show to the outside world that, hey, I am this, and I want to maintain this sort of a lifestyle, by telling people, or maybe give them a false perception of, oh, this is who I am, and I'm going to maintain this lifestyle even though I'm in, say, XYZ debt?
I'll give you an example. And I don't think he will mind if I do mention his name. I'm kind of closely acquainted to Nikhil Kamath, right? He's a wonderful human being. So, with the amount of influence, I prefer that word rather than using someone's, their bank, like how much they have in the bank or something like that. He's an influential individual because he does things for people and does it in a very humble note. So he doesn't need to go about showing and throwing things on people's face because he knows what he has, right? Versus, I don't want to name, but there could be a lot of individuals who basically just want to do quite the opposite. So my point is, if you are an individual of influence, you must see how you're influencing your audience.
मैं वही समझने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि क्यों करते हैं फिर? Why is it like what according to you could be a reason कि यार, am I faking the lifestyle? Am I faking how much I have?
Maybe they are aping someone they've grown up seeing. Like, for instance, it's a little that happens with a bit of new money problems, and especially this is more than India. I will say this happens a lot in the Western countries. If you see a lot of rappers and individuals, they have a very cliched, like that American dream kind of a lifestyle, but 5 years and they're done. They are on the road. Because they've literally, they sign a deal with the record, they blow up their money, there's zero investments, they're just spending it on things they don't even need, they can't even account for, and yeah, it all comes, even if you see Elvis Presley for that matter, right? I mean, his entire story is something, right? That's a good example. Like, he started being a talent and he was always a good talent. Management changed, this changed, but then once that climb happened, and then he didn't know what to do with, he didn't know when to draw the line, when to stop, is when the decline happened. Starting from falling sick to losing family to losing the important aesthetics of what mattered to you, and then it's done. So I think, I can speak for myself. I don't see and pray that happening for myself for only one reason, that I am an actor today, tomorrow I may be something else, and I want to be something else. What's the shelf life of an actor? I wouldn't know. It's very hard to say this because I wouldn't know. It's like, it's not a packaged product you buy from the shelf.
Because I know for a fact that an Amitabh Bachchan can act at 80.
Okay, that.
And I know for a fact that somebody who is 35 might just call it quits. We recently heard Vikrant put out a social media post saying that he wants to take a break from acting.
Vikrant Massey, right?
So I don't understand. Does the industry, does the lifestyle get to you after a point? Because he's had massive successes. I don't want to compare that he's left because of this. It could be whatever reason. I'm not going into any specific actor here, but I'm just trying to understand that once you make it, you're like, oh, 5 of my films have worked really well. The audience loves me. And for my 6th film, I'm going to charge, say, 10x of what I charge for my first 5. The shelf life can be as long as, say, 80 years versus it can be as short as 5 years. What determines the shelf life? Is it humility?
Realistically, your question is missing probably a layer, or maybe my answer can
Can you add that layer?
Yes, it probably should be. When do we know it's enough? Like, when do we know when to stop? Because first of all, what are you really stopping? It's difficult to answer. That's why I said it's not a packaged product. But with respect to the series of wave which has come with acceptance from the audience's end, at the end of the day, you put up an act, you play a character, you do so much. Most of the time, you're not really doing it for yourself. I don't think an Amitabh Bachchan would do a lot for just himself. He maybe does it because he likes a lot of people who feel happy seeing him in characters, whom he inspires, right? Who are so hopeful to see him on screen. That's there. So my point is, you need to know the reason for why you're doing it. I think that is the game changer. Like, let's say if I know my reason to take a break from work is I want to focus on my family or my health for that matter, then it's my personal reason to stop, right? It's not lack of success that's making me stop that, or it's not the industry is getting to me. It is my personal reason of saying I want to do this for myself. It's that. But further adding to why probably a lot of actors can go further in life is because their determination is simple. Wouldn't have the correct answer to it, like I said. But I think,
simply agar aap put
I'm saying, it's talent. Because all the fluff just goes away after one point. How much can you put up with it, right? Like we spoke. But if you're determined to be very, very true to you, know that I can dance on stage. The audience knows you can dance on stage. You don't have to constantly feed them that. Similarly, if an individual can act, that person can act in any character. So, audience's acceptance value is important here. It's predicted now that with all the individuals now who are coming into the industry, newers and everything, I can speak about Vedang Raina. I worked with his dad and I really, I'm so happy with his progress in some way. Doesn't come from a typical filmy family, but the part that he got a break and he was playing one of the characters in Archie's, right? Probably some other people had more character length there. But with that small presence of his, he made himself feel important and present because it's talent. So I'm coming to that bit that if you want to be visible and if you want to stay, you'll stay.
Again, that brings me to another follow-up question. Say a person, actor A, actor B. Actor A, craft on point.
Right.
Very strong craft, knows what he or she is doing. Hasn't nailed the distribution game. Marketing game zero.
What do you mean distribution?
Distribution in the sense कि social strong नहीं है, how to reach out to people, how to network with people, वो नहीं पता. Craft बहुत strong है, but मैं बताऊँ कैसे कि मैं भी actor और मेरे को अच्छा काम आता है. How do I reach out to the production houses? How do I tell the casting guys that hey, I would love to give an audition? How do I do that? Versus actor B, who is a creator / actor. Creator who also acts.
Okay.
This guy is an actor. Should
you.
he or she become a creator only to push his acting game up?
There needs to be a blurred. There is a blurred line. Like
is there a stereotype? I'm sorry, I'm cutting you, but
no.
I just want to complete the thing with this follow up, which is there a stereotype in the industry as well that if you are an actor and you start creating, are you perceived as this category person, that you are a creator who's also acting? So why would we take you? Would you be perceived as somebody who's not a good actor?
That line has been actually that box is someone's taken that box and tossed it in the air. There are no boxes anymore. It's talent, pure talent. When I say talent, I mean if you're a photographer but you can sing and you are there, you can do so much more. You're an actor but you're also a singer. You'll shine anyway. You're a creator. My point is, we are multifaceted. We just don't know it.
Right.
Maybe people have known this individual as a creator first. Maybe people have known this person as an actor first. But then if you feel you have certain more skills and you want to be known for it, then you go about it. But I think what you tried to ask me was, like, let's say there's an actor who basically does a lot of projects, being an Indian actor in Hollywood, but the person's social game is not like number-wise that strong compared to someone who's a huge sensation in India with respect to the creative game, but that individual won't be accepted in a Hollywood project, right?
Perfect.
Maybe something like that.
Perfect.
Like I said, there's an audience is keeping on changing, content is keeping on changing. There's so much for everyone now.
Should this person...
There is no fine way, there's no fine print for anything. Gone are the days when someone has to tell you, this is the only way. No. There
Fair.
are many ways.
Fair.
There are multiple ways. The other day, I'll tell you, somebody called me. Tridha's an influencer. Believe me, a part of me, I'll be upfront with you. For some reason, it was a Diwali party, and I just snapped looking and I said, actually, the new word which we all prefer is creator, not an influencer. Is that okay? And then she's like, okay, so you're an influencer. I said, sorry. So she's like, okay, so you're a creator. And I thought she was mocking me, and I didn't bother about it. I said, it's not me who's trying to sell you something. I'm trying to say that it's talent, it's creator. You don't just box people anymore. It's like that. So because the tone with which you said influencer seemed like you're putting influencers down or somewhere. I don't know, but your tone suggested
Very
that.
condescending.
But exactly. But creator is someone who's creating music, who's creating photography, who's creating video work, artwork, a lot of things. So creator is a very impactful word which we all prefer to use. I'm a creator, you're a creator, we all are creators.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I think nomenclature has become different for things. There isn't anything that anyone can't do anymore.
And it's beautiful because this profession
Yeah.
gives you that liberty to not put you in a box.
Yeah.
The very fact that I don't want to be labeled as this designation at this whatever company is the very fact that you must have chosen to do something for yourself.
I was worried because there were times when I did not want to accept a series. Okay, it paid me a lot, and they pretty much were like, "Oh, but we're offering you so much money, and
Can
it's
you
a big
give us a
name."
ballpark figure? Can you give us some
Sure.
idea?
Sure. So I'm very happy and proud to say, because I couldn't believe the numbers. So this was 2016. This was a show for Hotstar.
Okay.
Now on Hotstar.
Okay.
And then it was aired on Star Plus as a limited series.
Okay.
And I was paid about 75 lakhs for a year of my contract, which is a lot of money.
Yeah.
To start with, getting a number like that, but someone put a thought in my head. Oh, but if you do a series, you'll be typecast as a TV person, and then no one will cast you in films, and then your career's over. And I got really stressed. Here someone's giving me a fair share of a crazy amount of money for like a year of my commitment, involvement in beautiful project. And someone's putting this mantra in my ear, if you do this, then your other projects, which are not even in my hand, some future which doesn't even exist, will happen. Because they did not believe that films would evolve. They did not believe that media would evolve. But I don't know, I went with my gut, and it was not about the money. I had a crazy, crazy, beautiful character of a lawyer that I played in that. And it's that character which got me so much of love internationally. Till date, people love it and watch it. It was called Dehliz on Star Plus.
Of course.
And I have so much of love from that.
I want to ask a follow-up question. Who to listen to in this industry?
Yourself. You know why? Because you can have one individual who probably, it's not about who's done it right, but one person who seems good to you. Maybe take their advice, but listen to yourself. I mean,
because it is still such an unstructured market and a domain to be a part of. कि यार अब कोई तुमको बोल रहा है कि यार सुन यार दीपक टीवी करेगा ना तो फिल्में नहीं मिलेंगी.
See?
सुन यार
Oh
तू
my God.
पॉडकास्ट करेगा ना तो तेरे को नेटफ्लिक्स से ऑफर आ जाएगा, बट तू कभी गेस्ट नहीं बन पाएगा, तो कब हमेशा होस्ट करता रहेगा. या तेरे पास ना तू इंटरव्यूज लेता है तो तू अ मीडिया हाउस विल कॉल यू as an interviewer. So do you want to be known as that? Do you want to be known? And I'm like, मेरे को शो चलाने दे भाई मेरा.
Aren't we in today's world where there are some talents who probably have just become an overnight sensation, and all respect to them, by probably not acting on camera, not even doing a podcast, or not even doing anything, but just having the art of selling themselves.
Of
And when I
course.
say selling themselves, I don't mean any wrong way. I mean to say selling their presence, right? That's also art of doing something. And they're not doing anything wrong. They're probably doing something sensational because they have been able to tap into a market which many people are not able to. So there's something for everything.
But can you give me say a behind the scene of what a model goes through and what an actor goes through before things are finalized, how much money is possible for somebody who is somebody who wants to get into the industry, say as a model or an actor, or either or
Right.
and or the kind of money that is possible in the beginning to set expectations right. कि यार तेरे को पहले प्रोजेक्ट पे 50 लाख तो नहीं मिलेगा, बट तेरे को पहले प्रोजेक्ट पे 1.5 लाख रुपए मिल सकते हैं या 5 लाख रुपए मिल सकते हैं. बट इफ़ यू सेट योर एक्सपेक्टेशंस कि नहीं, मैं तो my craft is on point, I should be expecting nothing less than a 1.5 CR for a project. नहीं मिलेगा. So what expectations should newcomers set before getting into the industry?
The expectation of nothing in their bank to begin with.
Okay.
Because that's an honest one. A lot of times people are going to give you, like, see, it's
Projects
a world.
for exposure?
Yeah, like, I mean, would you say no to a campaign wherein someone really wants to launch you, but they are saying, sorry, because I'm taking the effort in creating something out of you and spending money on doing this for you, and yeah, they're doing it in a very, very, very real, official way. Like, they're not taking advantage of you or trying to do anything wrong with you or to you. Probably it's a choice that you can make, that okay, maybe I might not be getting money for this, but then there's a chance that I'm getting that exposure, so I have to trust the process in that. But if you keep on doing this, then you're a loser, because you're going on, I'm not calling the individual loser, I'm talking like you're losing in the process, wherein you're probably letting someone else exploit you. Because exploitation is not often in a physical, sexual form in our industry. Any industry to begin with. Forget about Bollywood. Why do people always like Bollywood gossip? Because isn't it so passe and cliche that, yes, I mean, this is what you see, you're constantly, aren't you bored of Bollywood already? I mean, the whole point is that in every industry there is so much going on. It's just how humankind works. It's a very give and take hierarchy of operations. Like, a lot of times, you yourself might want to give somebody an incentive. When I say incentive, it could be a fancy dinner, or it could be that really interesting pass to a Diljit concert that you might give someone. Chal, I think we should hang out and do this. You're indirectly bribing and also giving an incentive to someone for their time and their thing. Nothing wrong in it, but you're still doing it, right? So my point is, it's a trade-off in a way. You have to decide what you're comfortable with.
And I want to I'm so glad you brought this up. I want to bring up the exploitation that happens in the creator industry.
Theatre.
The creator industry.
Okay.
The creator economy. बहुत बार मैंने ये देखा है कि एक बहुत ही proper branded event हो रहा है.
Yeah.
Which is sponsored by, say, 5-10 brands, and there's an event happening, and there are, say, actors coming from the industry, there are people coming from the industry. You invite a creator to be a part of, say, the speaker panel or say a keynote session. You're like, you're not paying the creator.
Okay.
You're not even paying for their travel and accommodation. You call them thinking, oh, you have influence and you have community. They ask you for a video content saying that, hello sir, can you give us a video saying that you're going to be at the event, and post it on your stories.
Yeah, I see.
And tag the brand. This is a legit paid service.
True.
We as creators, this is a part of our revenue model. If I keep giving these services free of cost, and you get my community to attend that event of yours and increase the footfall,
True.
how am I making money? What is in it for me to do? They're like, oh ma'am, but we're giving you exposure. I don't need the exposure.
You have a choice here to not accept it.
Of course.
That is the most important thing you could do. And if you are 1 degree smarter, you'd see the agencies who are working, you'd see the other people who are coming, and you'd be able to do the math and say, you can play a poker face, you can play a blind there, and you can be like, hey, but I know this individual told me that this person is getting paid for it, so why should I not get paid for it? So if you'd like my attendance, this is what I charge. Go for it.
Because ये exploitation चल रही है market में. And I've seen that happen. I've also been a part of it, and I'm like,
no worry, I've been a part of it too.
I'm sure all of us have been a part of this race where I'm like, यार तुम मेरे से कुछ मंगवा रहे हो. And then of course their famous thing is, man, we need a video bite. We need a video bite. As soon as the event is over, they'll stop you. They'll be like, hey, we need a reel from you. So can we just shoot something? Can we have,
Sure.
have like 10 questions to ask you? If it's in good spirit, if it's a show reel they want to make out of the event, like, hey, how did you like the event? How was it, etc., etc. That is fine by me.
Yeah.
You ask me 10 specific questions and you want to make a reel out of it and put my face on your socials, and you want to make money out of that? Sorry, I don't want to be a part of that
Of
exploitation.
course.
So, what, according to you, can you do as an actor and a creator and somebody who has social influence? How would you deal with something like this? Would you be okay with attending events like this, or how would you deal with this?
The only events I like to attend sometimes are when I really enjoy someone's music and I get to choose that, okay, you know what, this is an event where I'm going there because my friend's the biggest music producer there and I'm attending to enjoy the music.
Right.
But if there is a brand coming and telling me, okay, you got to do something like this, it's a clear no, as simple as that. And let's say they violated something, then, I mean, a lot of times you can safeguard certain things by even, so you know what, actually what you're saying is not just a creator economy exploitation or any kind of exploitation, it's a human exploitation space.
Yeah.
Basically boundaries. For instance, we go to a party. Most people, I've seen, it's actually happened, I saw one individual slyly taking a video or photo of me. I thought I didn't bother much, but then it kept on happening to one point, like I told my friend and the friend went and asked that guy, do you mind, like it's if we're trying to have a conversation and you're going on clicking a video, it's really rude to do that. Oh, but I was just taking like a moment of the party. And then, so my point is, it brings me to the same part that how can someone without your consent in the first place do something like that? Right. So let's say somebody comes up to you and says, oh, but we have your video or photo and we've used. Some people didn't forget to tag. I mean, that also happens, right? Like there's a real individual, which is you, very much staring in a photo, and there's a branding or something going on, and they even forget to tag you. I mean, let's say it's not a paid situation, but at least the decent courtesy should be to acknowledge your presence, right?
Correct.
So I think these things should be made stricter by just communicating. A lot of times if it's done beforehand, nothing like it, then it saves all this drama. But a lot of times things are not in our hand because maybe the agency heads are not aware of it, but it's a lot of the individuals, their subordinates who just end up keeping the money to themselves and they're just not paying you.
Makes sense. I think this is something that I want to talk about for a very long time because I want to discuss it with somebody who also creates social content very actively, who I'm sure gets a lot of invites for events as a speaker and all of that.
No,
like
I turned down my friends' events as well. Like, I mean, why are we talking about just sponsored events and stuff? I'm talking about, let's say there's a friend of mine and she will tell me, it just happened recently. Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
And she just said, I won't just name her. And she said, so my client is doing this one particular thing and I think I want you to attend it, you know. And I very politely, I mean, I might have said, hey, I'm not available. But this time I changed the narrative and I said, I'm very happy to attend if your client is offering something for my time because that's how my management would want it to work for me. As simple. Is as simple as that.
What was her reaction?
She took it and very sportingly said, very well, that's true, noted. I'll keep in mind. That's it. Because why should I do something just because a friend asked or just because it's, no. If there is something where you and I get to monetize something and it's our right, we've worked, and let's say in the world of a lot of like AI and all of that, but do not ask me questions about AI, it just puts me off. Wherein it's important to have something about our presence, our talent, our face, our assets, and to safeguard it, digitally. Why not? Yeah.
Well put. I think this will solve a lot of problems.
I
think just the fact that this exploitation
subtle art of communicating.
Take the next 2.5 minutes
and meditate.
Take and which it can actually work out this way.
Okay.
Close your eyes. Take the next 2.5 minutes and describe Calcutta for me.
Beautiful. When I think of Kolkata, the first thing which comes to my mind is baranda, which is verandas. Because verandas in Kolkata are very common. And these, I'm not talking about fancy high-rise buildings with the verandas. Baranda, it's called in Bangla, where everybody is just spending their evenings or mornings having cha and looking down upon the beautiful, scenery that unfolds right there with Parar Adda and all the uncles and aunts just rejoicing and being in their slow living form. That is how I look at Kolkata. The first thing that comes to me, Baranda, and because I went to Scottish Church and it was in North Kolkata, tram, for sure. Because when I think of tram line, the only two places in the world probably would be San Francisco and not only two places in the world, but Kolkata is tram is very native to Kolkata, and I don't know what else, where to begin, where to stop. But winter in Kolkata, I'm actually spending New Year's with my family in Kolkata this time. I can't wait to just sit and do nothing. Because that's Kolkata. Lad. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I almost went into meditative space.
Yeah, you were in that
I was in that
trance.
Zone. Yeah.
And I think it's very well put.
And Baranda.
Baranda and...
like, it's so common. You interact with each other from the Baranda, like how they actually show in few snippets and ads.
You don't find it here, right? In Mumbai?
Here, मैं अपने बरांदे से भी दूसरे बरांदे को मतलब मैं अपनी मॉम को भी हेलो नहीं बोल पाती. It's a bad joke.
Was it not real though? You're just naming it as a bad joke. I think it's reality.
All the content shot together were fictitious and any resemblance to any person is purely coincidental.
The editor knows when to cut. I'm pretty sure. He knows कि अरे এটা cut হয়ে যাবে এটা রাখবে না. But talk to me about food.
Oof. Yes, how could I miss that about Kolkata? I am going to have
Okay, let me rephrase the question. If there is an outsider who is visiting Calcutta for the first time, what would you make that person have in Calcutta?
Ore Baba, outsider in Kolkata.
This Ore Baba, I loved it. I loved it.
Right.
Ashajju.
I think I'm not saying this out of a lot of pomp, but out of a little bit of nostalgia that I probably feel a little bit like an outsider now that I go back to Kolkata because it's been a long time. I was there in 2011 last, and then I kept on going back and forth if I had to do some shoots or probably see my parents sometimes. But my mom lives with me and my dad visits and we go on trips, and I personally think I like my Diduner Hater Ranna, which means my grandmom's cooking. I do not eat like meat, but the only time and the last time I've ever had was made by her because there's a certain way she would make mutton do pyasa.
Can you describe?
I know, right?
Please.
I mean, all the people who do not like non-veg food, this is not for you. You can just shut your ears. It's okay. Food is something which is so beautiful. Farak nahi padta hai kya kha rahe ho. So when it comes to I think this mutton do pyasa, there's a certain way she would make it. And there was a special ingredient she would never tell me. Till date, I don't know what that is. And a Gondhuraj lebu with that bhat and that do pyasa, that curry. My afternoon is set. I think that's the first thing I'm going to have when I go to Kolkata this time.
That's a beautiful explanation of what you are gonna have in Calcutta.
Yeah.
Give me street food recommendations for people.
Street food to bahut hai. I particularly like ghugni. Ghugni we can't miss.
Course.
And the pudina, like north mein, the pudina water that comes with the puchka. Because trust me, Golgappa bolo, Maharashtra mein I'm not even going. People don't know how to make food here. So going to Kolkata, I promise you, every thought of street food experience is cancelled. Yeah, Delhi is close to it. But when you go to Kolkata and when you have puchka, do not come and tell me Golgappa and this and that in Mumbai and Delhi. Sorry bro, doesn't cut it.
Thank you so much.
Such a sass.
मैं थक गया हूँ यार.
थकना नहीं है.
थक गया हूँ इनको बोल के कि तुम क्या खा रहे हो यार.
थकना नहीं है, बस उनको खिलाना है.
तुम बूंदी खा रहे हो भाई पुचके में क्या कर रहे हो भाई.
सच्ची में.
तुम आलू का मसाला जब तक वो मतलब मैं इसको डिस्गस्टिंग नहीं बना सकता.
ऐसे बोलते सह्य कर. सह्य कर.
Shajjo.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
When it comes to food, how can you think of anywhere else? Huh?
How do you deal with your lowest days? I'm sorry for this segue, but
No?
I just had to cover this.
I call this monster of a guy who's my best friend. Actually, next time, you should have him
Toto.
over as a guest. No. Toto is a girlfriend whose girlfriend doesn't like me, so we're not friends anymore.
Why doesn't Toto's girlfriend like you?
Toto's girlfriend, answer this question.
What is
I don't
her
know
name?
why don't like me. Sorry, enough spoken.
What is her name?
Huh? I didn't hear that question. Okay, next.
Toto?
So yeah,
Okay.
so no, his name is Azan, and he also has a digital marketing agency in Bangalore. Actually, you'll really have fun chatting with him. I
Okay.
feel because all your content strategy and really interesting questions about that, he's your man. And I'm not promoting anything. I really do speak highly of him because he's someone who's given me a lot of aesthetics of the business of content driving and things. In fact, he's the one who helped me he helped me with the inception of my business, literally. So why I'm talking about Azan is he's this one guy who I feel we're like long lost puppies from a litter. I feel that we're not humans. I think we're like past life mein we were like tiger cubs or puppies from the same litter, and we were like twins, I feel, because I just have to talk to him and he just has to talk to me, and there's nothing called a bad day that exists. That's it.
That's profound.
That's very profound.
And I'm happy for you because you have somebody that you can throw off that
100%.
energy. Has it always been that he's always been available for you in your lowest of days? Or I'm sure there have been days where you've had to deal with it alone.
Okay, now I'm going to put a very dark truth out there for all of you to deal with. There was a time when I wanted to kind of end my life, but Azan saved me. And when I said Azan saved me, all he did was, just by being on the other end of the call, he said, can you take a flight and can you just come to Bangalore? He lives there. And I promise you, whatever reason that you're dealing with right now, we'll laugh about it tomorrow. So I know I said something so important and crazy in my life so easily, but that's the impact that this individual has had in my life. He's just turned around so many things in my life for me. I'm indebted to him. Even his sister, like it's like three of us get along super well. So Zora, Azan and I, three of us are like puppies from a lost litter.
But I mean, I can open the Pandora's box for discussion in terms of why did you want to end your life at a point in time?
See, this is a very interesting thing. So for one individual who uplifted so much in my life, that's Azan, my best friend. And there's one individual I was with who took me down here in life. Just see the contrast, the scales don't even balance. Like, there's no chance. But it always comes to one common point. Tridha's perception of who Tridha could have been or should have been. It was that one decision that changed everything for me. So one individual made me feel so terrible about myself, and one person made me feel like so amazing about myself that I had to see tomorrow.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah. I know today I can talk about it so casually because this is the day he promised me that we're going to laugh about it, Tridha. So I have zero pain in sharing this with you because I've seen it done, dusted.
Thoughts on marriage?
Very excited for it. I want to have twins.
You want to have twins?
So I want to have babies. I want to have twins. I want to put them in sports clubs. I want to get them into F1. So I'm excited to create like mini versions of me who will be the leaders of tomorrow. So I'm excited for marriage.
Is it on the charts?
I don't know. First dulha dhoond
Are you not seeing anybody? Tridha Choudhury is single.
Tridha Choudhury is single. Yeah.
Tridha, I think I've had a very, very, very genuine conversation with you today. What I liked about this episode is that not only were you receptive of what I was asking, you also had follow-up questions.
I discovered so much about me.
It was a conversation.
Right.
And it didn't feel like I was gonna sit with a guest. It felt like a little more than that, because like you had questions, you received the questions really well. So thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thank you. I'm sad it's over.
You can do. We can talk a lot.
Oh, no.
But I want the audience to keep waiting a little for our part 2.
Absolutely.
So that we don't give everything away in this episode. We'd love for the audience to wait for that part 2 and be like, hey, you want a part 2, you want a part 2. But how did you feel being on the show? Your absolute raw, candid, unfiltered thoughts on that camera. कैसा लगा आके शो पे?
Hi, I'm Tridha and I'm unfilteredly yours. That's actually a hashtag I do use when I write. And this is what I have, like a very simple message and takeaway from this particular episode that I shot with Deepak. The day we met at the Art of Living space, I knew that we don't have everything figured out. We never will. But there's always something or the other that, we can keep on learning and unlearning about ourselves. And that's the process and journey I'm on. So I wish the very same for each and every one of you, that you never lose the quest to learn about yourself, because we're constantly under a pressure of, oh, I'm a daughter, I'm a son, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a teacher, I'm an actor, I'm a business head. But there's so much that you are beyond these designations and relationships in your life. Go figure it out.
That's a lovely message. Thank you so much for that. But आपने ये नहीं बताया कि आपको शो पे कैसा लगा. आपने outro बढ़िया कर दिया.
Outro.
लेकिन
okay, that was
your raw, honest thoughts.
Done. I actually had a very genuine time chilling during the chill hour with Deepak, because I personally feel it's always very interesting questions which give interesting answers and conversations like we had. And I would like to come back.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Anything for your, for Kolkata lok, if you want to give a message to them in Bengali?
I've already said so much with respect to the food, the culture, the fun and everything. Amar joto. Why I'm going to do this. Acha, the problem is, Amar Bangla ektu kacha, because I've studied Hindi, but I don't want to sound
Bangla kirokom kacha hote pare?
Because আমি বাংলা পড়িনি, I had Hindi.
বাংলা তো মাতৃভাষা।
বাংলা আমার মাতৃভাষা, কিন্তু আমি হিন্দি পড়েছি। তো আমি চেষ্টা করব খুব সিম্পল ভাষায় বলতে, যে আমার খুবই খুবই ভালো লাগছে যে আমি কলকাতার মেয়ে হয়ে এখানে বম্বেতে এসেছি, আর অসংখ্য ভালোবাসা আপনাদের সবার জন্য। That's it.
Lovely, awesome. Thank you so much, Tridha, once again for being a part of the show.
Thank you.
I had a blast. Thank you for taking out. Blasted? I had a blast. The Calcutta in me is just rising.
You had a blast.
I had a blast. Thank you. Okay then. I think I had a blast. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, which I'm sure you did.
This is the real takeaway from the show.
Please comment down your favorite part from this episode in the comment section, so that we know what's working and we do more of that. We have a second channel called Deepak Pareek Clips, where we post short snippets of the same conversation on that channel. You'll find it somewhere here or here on the screen. Please go subscribe to that. I'm going to link Tridha's socials in the description. Please go check her out as well. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Tinder, Bumble, whatever that might be. Just go check her out. What would your Tinder bio be?
LinkedIn. Anyway, no, I'm actually on LinkedIn now.
You're on LinkedIn. So
yeah.
We'll attach LinkedIn as well, in addition to Tinder, Bumble as well. But having said that, if you've enjoyed the show, thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button, share, subscribe. You know the drill. अगर यहाँ तक पहुँच गए हो, I'm assuming आपके पास भी ज़िंदगी में बहुत time है. Please shut down YouTube, comment something beautiful, and get to work. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next Friday at 6 p.m. Thank you so much.